One of the biggest mistakes I see businesses make and agencies is going ahead with SEO or pricing up SEO without understanding the website fundamentals, without inspecting the website. I've got 4 websites on my desk at the moment. Everybody wants SEO, but me committing to the SEO campaign without inspecting the assets is like a tradie committing to a bathroom renovation, a home renovation, a rebuild, without actually visiting the site and inspecting the soil, inspecting the roof, the foundation. And this is one of the reasons I really hate and dislike my industry, is a lot of the time an agency sales rep will sell the dream without the details. The agency will then handball fulfillment to somebody somewhere. They'll log into the website and be like, "What? I can't do anything here." They'll put it in a too hard basket. 12 months will go by and the retainer contract ends and they spit you out on the other side with meaningless work being done. So today I'm going to explain what to pay attention to and how to make the right decision with this kind of stuff. If you don't know what I do, my name's Eugene and I build and rank hundreds of websites. I'm progressing more sites of my own than I've ever had before. We've got about 800 domains. Every day I'm picking up new domains, committing to them, building them out. So I've got a lot of my own assets in the game. This is how I test how Google makes decisions. This is how I test how we show up in ChatGPT. Alongside that, I use pay-per-click campaigns, things like Meta ads and Google ads, to rent the traffic, to get the leads quicker. So we've spent more than 20 mil on Facebook and Google ads advertisement, and I'm an omnipresent marketer in that I optimize and I show up in all of the places that matter for that business, be it a local business, a dentist, or an online shop selling things. So I'm going to run you through these scenarios because they're extremely important and extremely common, right? The website inspection before SEO. This is like, if someone is going to be SEOing your website, it's the same as somebody going and renovating your bathroom, your home. They need access to the house, right? They want to make sure that the walls will hold. They want to make sure that the plumbing will continue to function. That's exactly what goes on here. In order for me to perform meaningful SEO, I need to predict the foundation, the code. So the problem, most agencies that I see, as an agency setup is usually a bunch of sales reps that outbound, they email, they call, they sell without understanding what we're up against with the site, gets handballed to fulfillment, somebody that will begin doing something, right? Long gone are the days where just a few blogs here and a few links here, a productized service actually moves the needle. In some low competition areas, in some rural towns, that might work. Just the website alone might pop up. But this is where I think it goes wrong, and this is why it's not pretty. So they jump straight into pricing before inspecting the asset. So be mindful if you're going to get a quote, a figure, a set of tiered lists of things to buy without them actually inspecting your foundations. Did you log in and see that the whole site is Wix or Weebly or Squarespace and you're up against a bunch of high-end WordPress sites in the top 10 in the medical space, in the plastic surgery space, in the legal space? So they assume that monthly retainers will solve everything. So no matter what, when we receive the monthly retainer, we'll figure it out. And another one is a good-looking site equals SEO ready. Wrong. I've taken over many sites that are aesthetically beautiful, but the theme didn't have anything to do with SEO titles, the ability to just flick a H1 to a H2 and a H3 without diving into the theme code, which is a really old school way of doing things and a very slow way of doing things. And you're creating basically a game of Tangled Jenga. Every inherited site is equally workable. This is very wrong. Once again, WordPress, if you understand WordPress, it's like millions of plugins, thousands and thousands of themes. Each plugin has its own choice of code, each theme, and you just expect it to just work. No, it can get quite tangled. Control and setup doesn't matter. This is where I see a lot of SEO work is just off page. So you've signed up to an SEO campaign. In your mind, you want growth, but what they're performing is like 1/10 of what really moves the needle in your space. So I'm seeing the term SEO is so extremely broad. It's really important to get to the bottom of it. It's like a builder. You want a house built. The builder comes out, cuts a few trees and knocks down the fence at the start of the build and just leaves, and that's it. Is that moving in the direction of a house rebuild? Yes, those trees need to go, that fence needs to go, but what about the rest of it? There's just so much that goes into a meaningful SEO campaign. So reality, a polished website can hide serious technical problems underneath. What you're actually working with. Every website built by someone else brings hidden complexity. Nothing against how other people, agencies code and build sites. There's millions of ways to do it. They're all good. They're all bad. They can all work. So the technical setup, the WordPress version and plugins, the theme and page builder stack, hosting environment, server configuration, security updates and status. Like this all SEO control, page structure, templates, URL, redirection setup, plugin configuration, indexation controls, content architecture. So all of these things I must be able to predict the behavior of this site. If I install this plugin or adjust this header code, will my toilet flush and my baby seat get ejected? Because that's what WordPress can feel like. The core issue, control matters. SEO requires high-level control, access the entire site. So to perform all of the tasks that we need to perform, the chiseling, the adding, the taking away, we need to be able to predict the tools that the site's built with. I've got a site on my desk at the moment where most of the site is hidden behind some kind of odd loading screen. I think the intent was we wanted the above the fold to load up very fast, but the rest of it isn't being picked up by any of my crawlers. Screaming Frog won't pick it up. It basically says that the whole homepage is 30 words. So that means that the AI robot, the agent that's visiting that site, they don't have the patience or the crawl budget to wait and hang around for the rest of the things to load. So it's likely that a big chunk of that homepage, as well as the 50 other service pages, the core text of that page is just completely being ignored. It's not even loading, right? So technical blockers that now need to be resolved. And a lot of the time, because the contract's already signed up, the agency isn't going to come back and be like, hey, we've found these blockers. They're just going to keep billing and performing meaningless tasks and then producing meaningless reports that are fluffy. So just something to keep an eye on. Why this matters in competitive SEO, you're not just ranking a homepage. You need a well-structured service or procedure pages, strong trust signals, team credentials about technical SEO foundations, reliable page level control. We need to control the density of certain terms, authority building over time, careful content planning and compliance. A shaky foundation compromises all of this. The two common outcomes. Outcome one, underservice. So there's just the space requires X amount of work, 50,000 bricks to go up every month for Google to respect us. The agency makes a sale. They do lighter work. They just tweak a few things here, tweak a few things there. They surface level stuff, reports, surface level audits. Avoid the harder structural work. This is why, sadly, and I dread this, but most of my campaigns, especially when it's like a small startup or like a tradie that's had a website for a number of years, a lot of the time they only have a few pages. I'll just rebuild the site. Much cheaper, much quicker. As part of the SEO takeover, I'll just build out those 50 pages with better aesthetics. A lot of the time they might have okay aesthetics, and that's only good for me because the design is handled. I just need to lift the website on screw piles, I need to swap the themes out, swap the page builders out. Elementor is great. I think that's the best, but man, that's got caching issues. It's so sluggishly slow. I personally still use Beaver Builder, just tools of the trade, right? Outcome 2, partial progress. Client pays for full SEO, but the bottlenecks remain. Deeper fixes never happen. Results come slower than they should. Meanwhile, still paying in full. So these are the conversations early on. What a sensible provider should do first: inspect the assets properly before giving firm recommendations. Review WordPress setup and hosting environment. Examine the theme, builder, stack, and plugins. Check security, update status and crawlability. Audit page structure, content quality, and technical SEO. Analyze competitive landscapes. Now, big sites, that's why audits should be paid for. I don't charge for audits. I try to keep away from super large scale sites, millions of pages. It's just not something I enjoy anymore. We've done our fair share of those migrations. Just don't enjoy it. So for me personally, I don't charge to do an audit of this kind of stuff. And I spend a lot of time really analyzing page by page. It takes a lot of time. So really this stuff should be charged for on a site, a business with multi-locations, with thousands of visitors a month. To do a proper audit, that takes time. Not to mention they need to log into the hosting, the cPanel. They need to understand how the backups. They need to understand the PHP, the memory limits. If we're going to be starting to build these pages, I've got a plumbing website at the moment. We're on month 3, and gosh, there was no amount of inspecting that I could foresee this. The Elementor with 1,800 pages, it's just choking, and we're updating, migrating, rehosting. It's just the combination of plugins used and the code that's just created blockers for the client. The client is empathetic. We saw it early. It just means that results are going to be slower because more time is going into the waiting of the thing to load. More time is going into the figuring out why this just broke. It shouldn't have broken, right? So a sensible player then analyzes the competitive landscape, and the price of SEO directly correlates to who we need to overtake and how powerful their assets are. Boob jobs is different to nose rhinoplasty, right? Garden maintenance is different to landscape design. Every keyword will likely have specialists business that only dominate that space. So they're putting all of their eggs in that particular key term, whatever that service is. So if you're in the dental space or the medical space and you just want to rank for all plastic surgery keywords, you could probably forget about it. Sorry, don't say forget about it, but just be prepared for that monthly budget to be crazy. So we need to be sensible of what we want to cherry pick first, what the sensible terms might be. Only then can you answer what is realistic, what needs fixing first, is the site workable, what engagement actually makes sense, right? Not everyone, and this is why I'm so slow and to build relationships and actually sell the SEO. I want to make sure that we have full control. I can predict this. No one can predict SEO at the end of the day. No one can guarantee, but you're kind of stuck with whoever you're doing the SEO with, be it they're a contract or not. And the truth is that while I want results in a week, in a month, tomorrow, and we'll do all the buttons, we'll do all of the SEO titles, we'll change the Google business keyword in there, we'll do all of the tactics that have a higher chance of popping up tomorrow. But everything that I'm seeing, it's still that 6 to 7 months for things to begin moving up. It's still that 12 months for that intended result. I'm all for that ranking 10 hours stuff that you're going to see on YouTube, and I'm all for the Reddit comments and the queries and the things like that. And if anything, I'm mucking around with that with my personal sites all day, every day. I'm definitely building those listicle directories. I'm powering up my client sites with my personal hundreds of sites. We're doing all of that. Those are like the icing on the cake. It's not the cake. Core SEO work, foundation, structure, proper permalinks, titles, internal links. That's the core of it. And that just takes the 6 or 7 months to begin reacting with Google, and 12 months. So the better approach. The site looks promisingly visual. There may be technical red flags underneath. We need to inspect it properly first, then we can advise what's realistic. Sometimes the answer is yes, we can do meaningful SEO. Other times we need a structural cleanup. Other times we need a rebuild. And it's hardest when they've just gone through a rebuild, but I can see that you need a 10-story building, but the foundation's made out of planks of wood. Those planks of wood are fresh and look beautiful, but we now need 10 stories. We need 50 balconies for whatever reason. I don't know why you'd need that, but you need it. A practical warning for WordPress websites. WordPress is excellent when set up properly. I still think WordPress is the best. I am absolutely playing with HTML, static sites, Astro, other AI builders and things like that. We've mucked around with Webflow. We've built many Wix websites, Squarespace. I still lean on my combination of plugins with WordPress. We have just so many hundreds of those sites. Every developer has their own habits. Inherited sites come with outdated or bloated plugins, weak security or custom hacks, page build dependencies, inconsistent templates, poor redirection handling, hidden technical debt. Technical debt, that's the big one. Before starting, ask who built it, how clean is the setup, what breaks if we make changes, right? How do we recover the site? Security and maintenance still matter. This is nuts. Right now, AI-powered workflows are infiltrating reasonably new sites. This is just not a matter of if you get hacked, it's a matter of when you get hacked and how bad will it be. And this is why it's really important to have Cronus backups and regular maintenance of plugins. Now, as someone that hosts hundreds of sites myself, I am just at risk, and all we can do is be as active as we possibly can with housekeeping. When you take over a site that has plugins or themes that you don't normally use, it's very hard to further predict it, especially if those plugins are not licensed. It's really important to pay for those licenses, which comes with a cost. I think my tech stack for one site is like $1,500 or something like that. By the time you add up all of the tools that are needed to run that site, it's very expensive. I'd argue that if you're starting up a business from scratch, Wix, Weebly, or Squarespace is the way to go. Shopify is the way to go. Ask Claude to give you a design. Just be prepared to be really chewing your tokens, and very difficult to control things sometimes with prompts when it just goes and makes a decision. So I'm definitely mucking around with AI constructed sites, and I definitely won't be rolling them out for client sites that I need to predict the behavior for. You have Codex and Claude prompts that are a lot of the time unpredictable, especially when you hit a token limit and it hallucinates. It's like, holy shit, I couldn't sleep at night knowing this was deployed for a client. What's going to happen with that site on this view, on this responsive view? It's crazy. Now, high trust businesses should look for. A sensible SEO process includes inspection before firm recommendations, technical review before hard scoping, honest commentary on current setup, clarity on whether the site is workable, explanation of the bottlenecks are, realistic expectations around timeframes, willingness to say this needs fixing first. A lot of agencies will reduce the friction and sell and then figure it out. I couldn't think of anything worse. It's like, no, let's just get the friction out of the way right now. Site's beautiful, it's busted. Something's wrong with it. Until I log in, I don't know what I'm up against. When we log in, none of the tools are ours. It's like, ooh, is this going to be quicker and easier just to rebuild all the pages? I'm looking at a site with 150 of those pages. I hate to have that conversation, but if you want me to SEO it, then that might need to happen. This might be the fastest sales process, not be the fastest sales process. You don't want a fast sale process in SEO. You want an agency that has experience in your space, whether it be the local space, the service space, the medical space. Show me track record of success. Show me track record of sites that you've built. You don't want a fast sales process in SEO. Jeez. It's like a fast sales process with the architect, the drafter, and the home construction. It's going to take 12 months to build. Don't do that. Key takeaway, a good looking website is not the same thing as an SEO ready website. Taking over a site built by someone else is rarely as simple as it looks. Meaningful SEO starts with proper inspection, not package pricing. The bottom line, if an agency's quoting confidently before understanding the real condition of your site, they are likely selling around the work, not through it. Really important. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.